Hello everyone, this is Joshua Gunnett, aka Mr. Redman here, and I am here to talk to you about the latest version of the Jointbreaker system, Jointbreaker version 7. It was released a month ago in May, and I'm releasing this video now to help assist those that are utilising the system, just give an idea as to how the system works, a basic rundown, and just let everyone know what the differences are to this version to the previous one, so version 6 to version 7. This one has a lot of different bells and whistles to it, but it is not intimidating by any means. This is the most simplest system you'll ever find, and if you need any help, just come back to this video or access the Jointbreaker Essentials model that comes with the entire package. So, without further ado, I'm going to just jump right in. The newest part, of course, of this system that you might know and notice straight away is the new battery and gas canister system. This system is meant to help simulate a realistic, power version of the robot, and I suppose just give power to the entire machine. So when the battery is ever damaged or destroyed, or if it ever goes down to zero and runs out of power, all systems on the robot will just shut off. The battery is of course in yellow here, and its size is basically meant to be, I suppose, the ideal size of what I'm looking for really when it comes to a battery here. It's called Foxy battery because my friend Foxy helped give me the basis for the code here, and I just made some adjustments to help it fit this system, so thanks to her for that. And this battery, all it simply does, it does everything for itself. Inside of it you've got the battery, a fire and smoke particle, and then the script itself, which just does all the calculations for you. I don't really need to go into the script to show much of it, because the next key thing that I'll get onto in a moment about the system, because it's fantastic. The gas container system, it's similar to the battery. Effectively, whenever you fire a weapon that requires a gas container, at the moment it's just flamethrowers, but I may include it for flippers in the future, but at the same time I may not, due to the fact that Hydra from Teamway actually exists and hydraulic flippers exist, so we'll have to see how that goes. But yes, whenever a robot moves or utilizes a weapon system, it drains the battery, the amount that is drained being set in the JB control area, which is about pretty much here. The drive drain, the power drain, and weapon drain. All of them are set to 1 at the moment. And the current maximum battery value is 9,000. I found that to be the best for at least 3-minute bouts. You are welcome to increase or decrease it if you want, because the Jointbreaker control area, the JB control, allows you to do such a thing, gives you that much freedom. It's fantastic. So it has been designed at this point to just give the host the ability to decide how they want their Jointbreakers to operate, which is phenomenal in my opinion, but we'll see how that goes for everyone. But yes, all you simply need to do to install these things is just copy and paste them into your robot, and that's it. It works. It's as simple as that, because leading on to the next point here, this entire system now fully automated. Mostly fully automated. About 95% of it, or maybe even 98%, isn't automated. The only things that aren't automated in this system at the moment are the GUIs. You will need to reference your robot's model with the GUIs if you want to utilize the GUIs. If you don't want to utilize them, just destroy the stuff that's in related to GUI. I mean, I'll demonstrate it according to the spinner system here. Just delete the banana GUI and the pretty much clear all that stuff away, but don't get rid of the red GUI because that's the power stuff. Thanks to Banan as well for lending me his buttons for this system. They'll be very helpful for mobile users, so thumbs up for that. Yes, one thing you probably will notice if you compare this the spinner seat to the version 6 spinner seat is that there are a lot more bells and whistles now in it, of course. I'll go through each one just to indicate which way each one does. Of course, you've got the services area, which gives you all the remote events. This is fully automated now. It will find your Jointbreakers inside your robot wherever they are. It will find any weight hoops as well if you'd like some weight hoops for your spinners. I hope one day weight hoops are outed from the system at this point when Roblox sorts out its weight balancing, but we'll have to see how it goes. All this does is it basically automatically calculates your spin up rate and your damage values. Everything is done inside of this. You don't need to do much. You just need to copy and paste this and it will just work. The battery motor, that's not automated. It will find your robot, but in order for additional wheels, you will need to automate it yourself, because I, for one, am not going to write down multiple different possibilities of you having multiple different wheels. If you have 4 wheels, though, you just get rid of this, and just go down the line, making sure to do that, and that's all good. Oh yeah, you will probably need to replace drive speed value, default value with speed as well, because I forgot to do that. But there we are. That's what I mean when I say I have not automated the battery motor script, because it is just not. I'm not going to automate that the wheel assignment. You can do that yourselves. The drive speed value, of course, that immediately links to the spinner speed. You no longer need to adjust the speed inside of the the script here. It used to be somewhere up here. Now all you need to do is just adjust the drive speed from your seat, and it's all good. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Let's see what else. We got the GUI spawn. This just spawns in your GUIs. If you want to not have the buttons, you just get rid of all the stuff that's related to GUI 2. That's all you need to do, and that sorts it all out. So keep the red UI stuff, delete the banan stuff. Sorry, banan, but if people don't like buttons, they just get rid of it, and that's what you need to do. The hide ball, that's similar, related to the banan GUI, because there's like a hide button that you can just click on your screen and it hides the buttons for you. You can delete that as well if you don't want if you're not going to have the buttons anyway, because it's just pointless to have around. Spinner setting, that's one of the newest and biggest features of the spinner as a whole. All this does now is you can now manually set which direction your spinner is going to go from this value. 0 will make it go clockwise, so it will spin in like this direction. 1 will make it spin anti-clockwise, so it'll spin in the opposite direction. And 2 allows you to spin both ways. But yes, the Jointbreaker system is now that advanced. It does the spinning direction of your spinner for you. All you have to do is just adjust it accordingly, and it's all good. So remember, 0, 1, or 2. It will error if you have it -1. If it will error, it will have 3. Keep it within 0, 1, and 2. Thank you very much. Texas robot assigned. This is just big thanks to, of course, Texidus. If you ever meet him, he helped give me the script, and I adjusted it accordingly for this system. All this does, it effectively allows you to stick the robot inside of your character's model, which is important for the operate system, because we don't need operate tools anymore with this system. No longer operate tools. You just press a key binding, which is Z as a default, and now you can basically don't need a tool to handle this all. You just press things on your keyboard and it's fine. You just press keys on your keyboard and it will work. You can adjust the what keys are utilized here by just changing it to like D or F or even numpad or numlock. I mean, bear in mind, this script can now also support controllers as well. So if you are feeling funny or funky and wanted to mess around with an Xbox controller and control your robot with an Xbox controller, entirely possible with this system. Very cool. The system also will hide your chat when you hop on the seat, so because there was a notable glitch in the system where key inputs would still be continually inputted when you have the chat highlighted or open. So all I've done is just gotten rid of it to prevent people not only from typing during matches, but just preventing people from gaming the system by doing it that way. If you have something to type out that is that important, you will hop off the seat just to say it, or you'll be in like a voice chat or something. So yeah, these are good stuff. Thanks again, Tex. And Tex's network ownership. Once more, credit to Tex for the original system. All this does is it effectively takes every part on your robot that's not anchored and makes it server side. So what that means is that the physics is no longer because Roblox calculates its physics based on the closest, I believe, connection to the moving parts, which is why there are lag spikes sometimes during the match, because the ownership of the network is set over to someone else. This just makes it so that the robot is now entirely server side, and it should not come back with any potential glitches or issues with network ownership. We will still distance ourselves from the arena for sake of safekeeping, but we should not have these issues have any issues anymore if we just have that script inside of the robot. And this works for non-damage as well. You can just copy and paste it inside the vehicle seat and it just works. This is not just for damage, so thanks Tex for doing that. That's great stuff. Weapon ball, that's for the weapon system. You don't really need to mess around with that. It's a weapon motor. Usually, if you have a robot with you, if you constrain a robot with a hinge constraint and you set up the weapon motor, you drag it into the vehicle seat, name it weapon motor like this exactly, and the script will just make it operate for you automatically. It's fantastic in learning that. If you do have more than one weapon, make sure to just name this weapon motor, and if you were to go into spin up wherever, and just name the weapon motor like weapon motor 2 or something, and it will find it. It's fine. I will say, if you do have more than one weapon system, the weapon system is for the first Jointbreaker is designed to automatically pick up to 4 Jointbreakers. That's going to be the maximum amount of Jointbreakers for any weapon. I'm gonna for the sake of scripting and for the sake of ease for you. But if you are going to have more than one weapon on your robot, you will need to do something like maybe Jointbreaker A, B, C, D, or joint, and then joint bruh, or 2, or jabber. You can name these whatever you want, provided it doesn't find it doesn't find Jointbreakers that it shouldn't be able to find. You can just name these whatever you want for the secondary Jointbreaker stuff. Same with the weight hoops as well. If you have multiple spinners that rely on weight hoops, you have to name them differently, because the system is entirely dependent on how many Jointbreakers it finds in comparison to how many it doesn't, and that makes the math and adjusts it accordingly. So if it can find Jointbreaker 1, but that it can't find Jointbreaker 2, 3, or 4, then it will treat the entire system as if it's only got one Jointbreaker, and work the math out from there. All these all the spinner stuff, all the weapon damage, a lot of the different stuff can be adjusted in the JB control as well. Flamethrower damage, which is manual these days, you can adjust that here. The tire damage for the tire shredders, that's going to be adjusted manually here as well. The milestones, environmental damage, fall damage and wall damage, the minimum speeds required to cause them to damage a part, they can be adjusted here if you so want them to. For projectiles, you can adjust projectile speed, the reload speed, the retract speed for the tether projectile, and the tether and how long a tether can be for tether projectiles from here. Thwack speed decides pretty much the minimum speed is required for a thwack bot to start dealing damage with its thwacking mace. Max battery decides the maximum battery value. Max gas decides the maximum gas value for gas containers. Spinner negative and spinner positive decides the maximum of values that spinners can be these days. I've set them to 100 now, but due to the adjustments that we've had to make for the mass system, since Jointbreaker still does damage via mass, of course, it's still the same, but in order to, I suppose, have a much more beefier and stronger robots and get to a much more realistic kind of weight, The maximum weight these days, I think, for Jointbreaker is about 1,200 SGS, as shown here on the strengthometer, and the test block here simulates that here for you, where you can just hit the blocks to see how much damage your robots deal. At maximum, any weapon can deal about about 40 damage. Spinners now incorporate the speed of the spinner as well as the weight of the spinner as well to deal its damage. It's quite good. No longer is it dealing in like milestones of quarter, half, and top speed. It's just once you reach the minimum speed for damage, it then just starts scaling upwards. We have what else do we got here? Like the overhead system is smart enough now to know which direction you're going to be firing. If you set it to negative, it will move backwards. If you set it to positive, it will go forwards. Same with the crusher system. Same with the slow piston and quick piston. Not much has changed for them. Flamethrower is still the same, but they're still relying on gas values now. Projectile is still the same. The projectile joint breaker, that is something you will still need to reference for your robot. It's the only joint breaker that requires it. The joint breaker script, you can just copy and paste it into the joint breaker part, and it's fine. The saw blade system, nothing much changed there. Hammer saw system, nothing much changed. Tire shredder is all cool. The teleprojector system is all cool. The flipper system, lifter system, and 4-bar system. The 4-bar system provided by our resident developer Rose Gold Thorns, who made Violet. This was based on her system there, so give her a thumbs up whenever you meet her. These systems, I've separated damage and non-damage systems for you to utilize accordingly. It's all fab there, so just check them out and play around with them, please do. The velocity checker, not much has changed in there either, except now the damage XZ and damage Y values are moved inside the velocity checker because the fall and wall damage blocks have been optimized to now automatically find them. You don't have to have them inside your robot's model anymore, like here. It will just find them inside of the robot, and it's fine. All you gotta do is similar to the battery, just copy and paste it into the robot. Make sure it's welded like the battery into your robot, and it will just work. It's the same for any of these systems here. All you have to do is just copy and paste the services, copy and paste the battery motor, drive speed, all of this, copy and paste all of this, replace it inside, replace all your bits in your vehicle seat with that. Make sure to move your weapon motor inside of your vehicle seat as well. Name everything as it should be, like this. Do not not name something how it should be. The naming conventions are listed, I believe, in my rules document for Killbots and the V7 rules as a whole, if you want to check them out. All you have to do is just make sure that everything is kept to this structure, and you won't have any issues whatsoever with setting up your system. Excuse me. Yeah, it's just a bunch of copy and pasting at this point. It is all automatic. It's all quite revolutionary in my eyes, and it's designed to just take as much work out of the builder as possible. So all you have to do once more is just, if you want your spinner to operate, copy and paste all the bits inside the vehicle seat into your robot, move your weapon motor into the vehicle seat. You can do that. You don't have to leave it inside of the motor itself. You don't have to leave it inside the motor itself, like the part for the motor. You can move it inside of here, or move it wherever you want, and it works. But ideally, move it inside the vehicle seat, just for the ease of mind. Copy and paste the Jointbreaker script and the sparks inside of the Jointbreaker. Drag and drop, of course, copy and paste the Foxy battery and the velocity checker inside your robot as well. You can reference your camera part in the operate system here. If you want to change its name, you can do it as well. It just says name your part camera part however you wish. It will just find it. It's fine. It does that easily. And that's pretty much it. You don't need to stress out about figuring out how to do this. The only thing that it will only be concerning for you is when you have to set up multiple weapons, but that just requires a bit more adjustment and copy and pasting. But it's still all automatic, and will just require you to adjust some references. It's nothing that you guys haven't done before, if you've been messing around with this Killbot system already. And really, if you need any help, just ask any of the admins, ask myself. I'm here for you, because Killbots is coming up soon, and I'd like to see you guys compete in it. And honestly, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to just really just jump in here. I'll demonstrate this for you. So if I just do a play here, so let's get my character along. One new thing as well, I suppose, if you really want to like comes free with this kit, is you have this spawner. This spawner, built from Tex's robot spawner, basically prevents people from deleting your robot while you're still driving it or sitting on the seat. Excuse me. So that will prevent any griefers from coming in and deleting your robot while you're still driving it. But yeah, I'll just do a demonstration here so you can see that if I press Q, you can see in the print it's showing you how much damage it's going to be dealing. You can take away that print if you so want to highlight that, and it just reverses down. There you go. Bear in mind that this spinner is about 300 SGS, so this is like the peak. It goes back down again like that. And if I were of course to turn on the joint breakers, you can see the battery value starts draining, and it's going to go down a lot faster if I have the spinner on. Like that. And if I turn it off, it stops it. So yeah, cool stuff. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for that. Of course, if I just adjust this to 2, because I think this you'll really enjoy this. So now the spinner setting is now 2. So if I just waltz on over, like so. Yeah, I'm pressing Z, by the way. This is Z, the Z key. You don't need the operate tool anymore, it just works. And if I press Q, of course it starts spinning up like that. Then if I start pressing E, it starts spinning the other direction. Very fun. So yeah, there you have it. This entire system, all automatic, very easy to sort out, very easy. Don't be daunted, like don't be intimidated by all of this stuff. It doesn't take, you don't need to do any script, you need to do minimal scripting with this setup. It is very easy. It doesn't require that much in terms of, and if you need any like help, just contact the admins or gloss over the README here if you need it. It's there for you to read. So yes, I've been Joshua Gunnett, and get cracking, lads. Get cracking.